I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, get ready for an enchanting dive into a wonderful book. It is called Barnabus and the Seven Jays by Mimi, also known as Beverly Lunsford Wood. It is a mystical tale that unfolds a strange and captivating story of Carla Ray's transformation and her escape from the wizard Barnabus. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank our team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put her in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support writers like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her wonderful book. The links are below this interview. Now, should I call you Mimi or should I call you Beverly?
You
I'm
can
just
call me
teasing.
Beverly.
I will call you Beverly. I'm
The
just
kids call me
joking with you.
Mimi.
That's what I figured. That sounds like grandma's name, Mimi. Loved your book. Why don't we have you tell the folks at home what Barnabas and the Seven Jays is all about?
Well, Barnabas is a wizard, and he lives in an enchanted land. And I wrote the book for my grandchildren because they didn't like reading. And I said, well, if I write a book about you, you will read it.
Mhm.
So that's the way it came about. So all of them are family members, but I have taken them and twisted them around some. So, but the Seven Jays are the name of are my grandchildren. That is their names, the Seven Jays.
That's wonderful. It's
Um,
such a treat for them to have a story that's tailored for them. But certainly any kid would enjoy reading this
I
book
had,
or having the book read to them.
I had one little girl walk up to me, and I never seen her before in my life. She says, "I read your book. I loved it. It was long and awesome." I said, "Well, thank you, thank
That's
you."
great. That's high praise
Yeah,
coming from a kid. That's a rave. That's awesome. Now, here's what I got to ask you. Is there a real life Barnabas in your family?
there was. Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Tell us about
yes. He was.
Barnabas.
Yeah, he is expired, but he was in the family. Yes, my
Okay, got
brother. My brother could
your
be a.
brother. Okay, so Barnabas is based
Yeah,
upon your brother. Sounds good. Now,
yeah,
your character, Carla Ray, undergoes a traumatic transformation at the hands of Barnabas.
yeah,
What inspired the unique characteristics of her change, particularly her peacock fantail and a thousand
yeah.
eyes?
Well, what I did was I took Carla Ray and I took everything that was good about her on one side and wrote it down. The other side, I kind of flipped everything. So she went through that transformation, and she was called into the land of uh, over in Barnabas. And once you get over there, you can't get out.
Hmm.
All the eyes in there staring at you. And Barnabas is the top of the castle, terrified of children, and he's watching everything through the flames. So he can grab you while you're walking around. And at the same time, the land keeps changing every 30 minutes to an hour. You may be walking on ground, the next thing you know, you're drowning in water,
Hmm.
or hummingbees or hummingbirds, and they become the mad hiders. And the fleas, they are huge. And there was one chapter in particular, chapter 50, and it's called Bewitched. That was how I felt writing it. Because when I got to that chapter, I was so afraid to go into it and begin it. I'm not a nail biter, but I walked past that laptop for 3 days, going, no, I can't get in there yet. Oh, I'm too afraid. Something's going to get me. Something's going to get me. 3 days I did this.
That's great.
Finally, I said, okay, get your big panties on, your grandma panties on, and get out there and just start. And so I did. And that's how I started I moved one pebble at a time. And once I got a little hole started, I took off again. But 3 days, naturally, I was bewitched. I was terrified to go in and begin that chapter.
That's
Scared to death.
amazing. That's amazing. It's amazing you
And I can
created
tell
such a
you,
unique
Beverly,
world that you were kind of afraid of it as well to write about it.
yeah, because something was going to get me in chapter 50. It was called Bewitched. But I
Amazing.
made it. I made it through there and zoom. I was
Good. Well,
gone after that.
That's excellent. We're glad you're here. How did you come up with this idea for the story? It's very inventive, very creative.
I took the children and I just started taking their names and reversing everything about them. If they were good, I made them bad. One
Mhm.
grandson, I asked him, I said, "What kind of animal would you want to be?" And I can't tell you, but he said, "Mimi, I want to be this." And I said, "Well, Jacob, if I make you that, you've got to die." He says,
Mm.
"Well, I don't care, Mimi, kill me." So
That's funny.
anyway, it turns out ain't good anyway, but
Yep.
but he did. I had to kill him. I had to say that, but it turns out good because that was
Gotcha.
kind of animal he wanted to be.
Yep.
But I can't tell you.
Yep. Sounds good. The moment when Jesse tells Carla Ray she is pretty once he gets used to looking at her is quite a powerful scene. Tell us about the message you're hoping that readers and listeners will get through this interaction.
Well, my main choice was you can pick your friends, you can pick your nose, but you cannot pick your family.
Yeah.
That was my main. And Carla Ray is family. They're all family. And I just kind of put the good stuff and then twisted it with the other stuff. And in the beginning, they were terrified of the grandma and grandpas, because of they were mean.
Mhm.
But as it goes through, it tells why they were mean. But
Gotcha. Is there a lesson or a story or a moral you're hoping children take from your book?
the lesson or the moral would be you could pick your friends, you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your family.
That's a great expression. I'm going to use that from now on.
All right.
That's great. I'm going to borrow
We
it from
can.
you. Tell us about
Yeah.
Anemone, the place where Carla returns after her encounter with Barnabas.
When she goes back into the land of Princess Betty Anemone,
Hmm.
that's where she's safe in the land of Prince of Anemone. And she made a lot of noise when she walked, and her fantail, the eyes on her tail is what Barnabas could see everything with.
Right.
So that's why the kids would jump on their tail and close it up because they didn't want him to see them.
Yeah.
But if they made it back to the land of Princess Betty Anemone, and that was also family members, and they had it made. The wizard couldn't see them in there, but they wanted to go home.
Gotcha.
So they made a decision to go home, and they would have to leave Anemone, the Princess Betty Anemone's land, and go out into the land and try to find the castle and a key. That's all they were looking for was a castle and a key.
Sounds good. Sounds like an instant classic to me. Have you envisioned this book perhaps as a TV series, whether it's animated or live action or something like that, or a movie?
I've not thought that far away. No, no, I haven't. But I enjoyed writing it. I've got, I'll tell you this. I wrote this book and had it published in 2010,
Hmm.
the end of 2010. And like the beginning of 2011, I had an accident and had a head injury and lost all memories.
Hmm.
But I did have some notes wrote down getting ready to start the second one. And that was 2011, and this is 2023. So I've had 13 years to remember. I'm hoping to get that second book down in there because it's going to be even more characteristic and with more. Uh, I don't want to give it away, but
Yep.
it's going to be a lot more.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, we're looking forward to the sequel of Barnabas and the Seven Jays, that's for sure. It's a wonderful tale written by Mimi, also known as
Yeah,
Beverly Lunsford Wood. You can
yeah.
call her Mimi if you're her grandkid. If not, you better call her Beverly. It's a mystical tale that unfolds a strange and captivating story of Carla Ray's transformation and her escape from
Yeah,
wizard Barnabas. This is a great story. Your kids will love it. You'll love reading it to them, reading it together. It'll introduce them to a whole new world. It'll open up a world of imagination. It is highly recommended.
that's
Beverly,
what I was trying to do, challenge the children.
well,
I
well, you
was trying to
succeeded.
challenge them.
Absolutely. In a world where kids walk around like this, I think they're going to be picking up
Yeah,
the books instead of staring at their
yes,
phones or a computer screen or something.
yes.
It's a terrific story. Thanks so
Well,
much for
thank you.
joining us here today on Spotlight.
And thank you for having me.
Oh, the pleasure's all mine. And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time. This time, until next time on Spotlight.